Hey, welcome to a new section on building desktop GUIs, desktop graphical user interfaces. So what is a desktop GUI? A desktop GUI is any program that you have installed in your computer like Excel, Microsoft Word, even Thomni is a desktop GUI program on itself. So you can interact as a user, you can interact with such programs using the graphical user interface, which means you can click over a button, you can type in texts in text boxes, etc. So let's go to ChatGPT and build our first desktop GUI. So as usual, we want to start with what we want to do. So I want to create a temperature converter desktop GUI app. So that would be the first sentence which describe your general idea. So this will be a program which runs on your computer and where you or the user can convert from Celsius degrees to Fahrenheit, so temperature units from different systems, American system to European system, Indian system. So in this first sentence we are specifying the type of the app, so this is a desktop GUI app, it's not a web app, and we're also specifying the title of this app, so to say. So in one sentence we are describing what we want to build. So that is the first sentence, followed by more details you might want to give to this query. So that would be in the app, users can convert. So when you're building programs with graphical user interfaces or web apps, so these have graphical interfaces, right? Even web apps have a graphical user interface, right? So this here on chat.openai is a web app. Basically we can click over things here, so that's a graphical user interface running on a server and served through a browser. So these interfaces always have the user in the center, so you want to think as the user and describe the details from the user's perspective. So the user can convert temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit and vice versa. So also Fahrenheit to Celsius. Now, do we need another sentence here with more details? Well, if you have something in mind, if you have an idea in mind of how the widgets will be, like if you want a button or you want two buttons or you want a drop-down list where the user can select between Fahrenheit and Celsius. So if you want to keep this customized, which is the case when you have a clear idea, then you want to give more details here where you say, oh, the interface should have a button, or you can also give a name to the button like a convert button and a drop down list above the button where the user can select between Fahrenheit and Celsius. You get the idea. But if you want to keep it standard, so if you want to have a general interface and have ChatGPT optimize it to the best of its knowledge, then you want to keep it this. And then write a last sentence, which is build me a program. So usually I used to say write me a script. Now I'm saying build me a program, because when you are building web apps and desktop GUIs, we refer to these more like building than scripting, right? A script is something smaller which automates something like generating some files or modifying some existing files, so that's more like a script. And the program is something bigger, and usually we say build me a program. In this case it would be for that using Pyqt and Python. What is Pyqt? Well, in the previous section you learned that we can build web apps using the Flask extension. Pyqt is also a Python extension, but for desktop GUIs. Other extensions for desktop GUIs are Tkinter, PySimple GUI, WXPython, etc. PyQt is often referred to as the best one, so it does have more features than other extensions, so we'll use PyQt. Press enter to execute the query. So there we go. ChatGPT is importing some elements from PyQt. So you see import that from PyQt 5. It's using PyQt 5, this version. And that's also the version we will install in Thonny. You'll see how we do that. So let's wait for the typing to finish. There we go. Usually GUIs, they finish with this block. So if, just something you might want to know. So this is the last block. And copy the code, go to Thonny. I will create a section 5 folder. So I'm inside ChatGPT course. Here I'll right click, go to new directory, section 5. Press enter. Double click section 5 to go inside section 5. So now I am in this directory, and here I'll create my first lecture1.py file and paste the code in here. Now if I run this, I'll get an error. See, no module named pyqt5.qtWidgets. Now you might be tempted to copy this entire thing and try to install it in manage packages, but you don't want to copy the thing after the dots, so that part is not the package. The package, the extension is this one here. So I'll copy pyqt5, just that, go to tools, manage packages, and paste that in there and search on PyPy. So pyqt5, you want to install that one, not pyqt6, because your program, or at least my program, is using pyqt5. So perhaps ChatGPT will produce a program using pyqt6 in your case. So in that case, you should copy pyqt6 from here, just like it shows in the shell in here, and then install pyqt6. So whatever the program is using. So I'll go to pyqt5 and install it. Close the window, the installation was successful, and run the program. And once you run the program, you should see this window, right? So that's the GUI, the desktop GUI. Now there is room for improvements here to the interface, so these two buttons are a bit too close to each other. But let's try its functionality. So 10 for Celsius, and then we can press on convert to Fahrenheit, and you'll get 50 in here. Or if you write 30 for Fahrenheit and you say convert to Celsius, you'll get this. So if we want to improve the program a little bit now, we might want to close it, go to ChatGPT, and report the problem. The program you built has the two buttons too close to each other. Rewrite the program fixing that issue. Press enter, and ChatGPT should be able to give us the updated code and also an apology. Well, maybe the apology didn't come, but anyway, at least we get the code. So the generation of the code was completed, so I'll copy the code, go to Thonny and replace that. So I'll run again. There we go. Yeah, it looks better now. We have the two buttons, so Celsius 10 convert to Fahrenheit, we get 50. So that's a neat program to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit and vice versa. So ChatGPT did a good job here. And thanks for following this. I'll talk to you in the next video. Hi, in this video we will not be building any new program. What I want to show you in this video is the list of popular widgets you can use in a graphical user interface. So for example, a button is a widget, but there are other widgets as well, which I think it's good for you to know so that you know what queries to write when you're communicating with ChatGPT. So this picture is a screenshot of a desktop GUI, and this contains all the popular widgets. So let's start from here. Style here. Style is just a label, so a label widget, which means if you want to tell ChatGPT to add static text to the GUI, you want to say, give me a label widget with value style, for example. And then we have this widget here. This is a drop-down list widget. So this will have multiple options that the user can expand here and choose one of them. Then we have checkboxes such as this one here. And this one is in here, disable widgets and use style standard palette. These are two checkbox widgets. Then we have radio buttons. So in these here, the user can only select one of them. And these are grouped in something called a group. Then we have another group here. Here we have two types of buttons. We have a default button. This is a popular button, which can be pressed and something is executed. And then we have a toggle push button. So with toggle buttons, the button can be either on or off. So the user can press it and then they can release it with a second click. Then we have tabs. So this area here is a multi-tab area. We have a table tab and we have a text edit tab. So when the user is in the table tab, they can see this table widget. So we also have table widgets to show data. And then we have text edit widgets. You know, this is simple. I'm not showing that here, but this is just a white area here where the user can enter multi-lines of text. So a text edit widget. Then we have input widgets, which can be simple input widgets or password input widgets. This one here happens to be a password input widget. So with password input widgets, when the user enters some text, that text is displayed as hidden text. So as you see here. So if you tell ChatGPT create an input widget, it will give you a simple input widget where the text will not be hidden. If you say give me a password input widget, then the text will be hidden. Then we have date time input widgets such as this one here. So in here the user can select a date and time. Then we have sliders such as this one here. The user can select a value by sliding this handle here along the slider. And lastly we have progress bar widgets. So this usually is used to show the user that a process is running. So to make the GUI more user-friendly, it's a good idea to show a progress bar for processes that take more than a few seconds. And yeah, that's about the most popular widgets. So thanks for following this video, and in the next one, we'll build another program. I'll see you there. Hey, welcome back to building yet another program with PyQt and Python and ChatGPT, of course. So let's begin the query. This will be an Excel viewer GUI. So I want to create an Excel file viewer desktop GUI app. That's the first sentence we want to have. And then we want to give details to this app. In the app, users can browse an Excel file, if you know what I mean. So there will be a button where the user can locate an Excel file in their computer, in their file system. so in their computer basically, and press a view button. So I'm giving this button a label already, a view button, the view button. So after we tell ChatGPT that we need a view button, then we want to specify the behavior of that button. The view button should display the data of the Excel file in a table view widget. So we have a button widget. You can also say a view button widget, but that's unnecessary, so you can just avoid the name widget. However, for some less popular widgets, such as a table view, you can be more explicit and say, oh, I want a table view widget. A button, though, is very popular, so no need to say widget there. So the view button should display the data of the Excel file in a table view widget, and that's it. So build me a program for that using Python and Python. Execute. So ChatGPT here will use PyQt5 and also pandas. So we will need to install these if we don't have them already. Now, if you follow the previous sections of the course, we did work with pandas already, so that means you might have it installed, but if you don't have it, I'll show you again how to install pandas. So don't worry. Let's see if the code has been completed. Not yet, so let's wait. So there we go. If we get this block starting with if, that means the code was completed, so we got the complete code. You also know that the code was completed when you get this other description here. So I'll go up here and copy the code, go to Thony. I am inside section 5 directory, and I will create a new file here, lecture2.py, paste the code there. And now, if I run this script, if you get an error which says module pandas is not installed, then you want to go to Tools, Manage Packages, type in pandas here, and install pandas. Then run the script again, so run the program again. If you get another error which says something like dependency OpenPyXL is missing, then you want to copy that OpenPyXL and go here, Manage Packages again, paste OpenPyXL, search, click on the OpenPyXL package and install it. I didn't get those errors because I already installed pandas and OpenPyXL in the previous sections of the course. So, but I got this error. It happens. In that case, you want to complain to ChatGPT. So you copy that error, the last line, and you say, your code gave me this error. And below you paste the error and press enter. You'll get an apology probably. If not, don't worry. So now ChatGPT might give you the complete updated code, but it could also tell you what to change in the code. So if you got the updated code, the entire code, then you want to copy that code and replace it here. So delete this one and put that other code. If you get this kind of response where ChatGPT is telling you what to change in the code, then you want to be a bit more cautious with the changes you'll do, but I'll show you how to do it. So let's do this together. It says add the following import statement at the top of the file. So this is quite clear, I suppose. You copy that code, go to Thony, and at the top of the file you can put it here. So paste that line there, right? Just like that. You can have a break line or you can delete it, it doesn't matter. Break lines don't do any harm, so either way, I'll just leave a break line there. Then ChatGPT is telling us to replace align center with align center, which look exactly the same. So I'll not be doing any changes here. ChatGPT seems to be suggesting something that doesn't make much sense here. So what I'll do is I'll go here and run the code again. This time we've got the correct output. So let's give it a try. We have this area here which should be where the table, where the data will be displayed. So I'll go to browse and locate an Excel file. In my computer you can find an Excel file attached in the lecture resources if you don't have one. So mine should be in section 2. Here I have a file, merged file, XLSX. Open it, press view, and yeah, these are the data. So in my case I've got this nice table where I can expand the columns. So this is exactly what I wanted. So on Excel viewer I can view an Excel file here. So this is working just fine. And that's how you create more complex programs such as this one here, which does have some extra libraries such as pandas and the OpenAI dependency. So all these libraries are working together to make one single program such as this one in here. So thanks a lot for following. I hope I've helped you and good job. Thanks.